Hello, my name is Chet Wiltshire, and if you clicked on this video, there's a good chance that you're interested in the Mantis G, recently released by Unique. This is what Unique is doing to try to stay competitive in the ever-growing market of drones, particularly pre-built cinematography drones. I have with me the controller and the unit, the Mantis G, and today I'll be going over a basic overview and then some flight tests to compare the specs advertised to the real world specs you can expect to use for your own missions. Stay tuned. So just jumping right into it, the Mantis G comes in a very nicely packaged white box. It's got the features of this particular aircraft listed on the bottom left and some pictures of the folding design on the right. The rest of the box is pretty plain, just some logos and some information about the model number and what the product was made for. And the first thing you'll be greeted with is a little flyer for people that are unfamiliar with the rules and guidelines for drones. One of the most important things that you'll see on this flyer is to not fly near people and to not fly above 400 feet, just because that's the guidelines from the FAA. Moving on. We got more information in here. This is just general information. I've already had a peek in here. This is their user manual and stuff for people that might have a hard time setting up their Unique. This is good for troubleshooting and stuff like that. So we can throw it to the side. Nice foam pad. And here's what everyone's here for. This is how the Mantis G folds up and is packaged when it is shipped. This is an amazing form factor if you're familiar with what's currently out there. I used to have the Unique hexacopter called the Typhoon H, and that was a massive design, and even though it was foldable, it was nowhere near the form factor of this. I personally would just prefer putting it in a hard shell case to protect it, even though it's a small design. So as you can see, when it unfolds, it's actually larger in profile than an average racing quad, but small enough to still fold up into a nice form factor for transport when you're not using it. On the front, it'll come with a gimbal protector. You can just remove that to unveil the camera. This has support for 4K video with ultra high definition at 30 frames per second. To take out the battery, simply depress the buttons at the rear on both sides and pull. This will slide out, and this is how you can charge your battery. When you want to put it back in, just simply slide it in and push it until it clicks. So yeah, this is where the ports are for plugging in to a computer. This is where you'll get information for updates and where you'll also put the SIM card for storing video. On the bottom, you can see that it has some sensors for tracking the ground so that it can do accurate return to home landings without coming in at a velocity that's unacceptable for landing. And then it's got the Mantis G logo beneath the camera. All in all, I'm very impressed with the looks of this thing. I think they put a lot of time into the design to make it very, very sleek out of the box. So today, for testing, I've got my phone, which I'm using to record. That'll also be the interface, how I'll be able to communicate with the drone. To do that, you'll need a wired connection with either a Lightning for iPhone or whatever adapter for USB you have for your Android. I've got the controller itself, which connects to the phone and the drone. And then lastly, I've got the Mantis G folded up right now, but I'll be extending it and showing you how to set it up. You don't need to actually have an external SD card because it has one built in, from my understanding. But if you want to take much longer video and take a lot more pictures, external SD card is your best bet for getting increased capacity for that. So let's get to it. I can't actually film my phone being placed into this holder, but it's a simple extendable holder that you'll slide your phone into. You'll plug your cable into the top behind the antennas. You'll want to fold out these antennas first and then rotate them. This would work for short range, but for ideal range, you want to twist them and point them down for your best signal transmission for long distance flying. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. Once my phone's in the case, you'll hold down this power button for 2 seconds and you'll start it up. For the Mantis G, you'll want to extend the front motor first, then the rear motor second. If you do in the opposite order, this will get in the way of that. So do it for both sides. And if you haven't removed your camera gimbal protector, you'll want to go ahead and do that now. All right, we're going to transition to the ground, and from there, I'll be showing you what my screen sees for setting up the drone. So we're recording now. I'm going to go ahead and open up my Unique app, Unique Pilot. Make sure you go to the home screen first before you do that. My Mantis G controller is connected. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn on my drone. You'll just set it down in an open area away from any metal or trees. You'll hold down the button for 2 seconds until you hear the chimes. And you'll wait in this screen until it actually comes up. So while we're waiting for it to get initialized, we'll just kind of describe what's going to happen. The drone interface will switch from controller connected to a live view of the video camera that the drone has. And from there, on the sides of the screen, you'll be able to see all of your information for takeoff, landing, altitude, and that kind of stuff. So we're connected to the drone. Should come up here with the video shortly. All right. Hopefully you guys can still see what I'm seeing. This is what the user interface looks like for the drone. On the left side, you'll see near the top left, there's a takeoff section, the takeoff button, excuse me. And right below that is the return to home button in case you need it for an emergency. If you want to record with the drone before you take off, go ahead and press the right red button and the drone will start recording. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that everything's good to go. I've got 98% battery and GPS lock, so I'm gonna hit the left button for takeoff and swipe to confirm. My drone's taking off. It's a little windy day, but that's okay. I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna rotate the camera down at me. So here I am, right underneath the drone. And the first thing we're going to do is just do an altitude check. So I'm going to go straight up until I hit around 300 feet. I don't want to get near my 400-foot ceiling because today it's a little cloudy, and so it's going to be hard for me to make corrections if there's an aircraft coming down through the ceiling. So I'm going to keep going up, see how the video quality is. Sorry for the notifications on my screen while I'm in this screen. You won't see that in the high definition view later. So we're still looking good on battery. We just passed 200 feet and everything's looking great. Right now I'm very surprised with how good the video link is. And once we get to 300 feet, we'll start moving around. 290 and 300 feet. All right. Still got a good link. I'm going to go ahead and show you real quick in the menu. It actually has a GPS built into the controller, so you can see where you are and where the drone is. So let's go back to this screen, see what our drone's seeing. And I'm just going to do some checks to see if we can actually go about 1 kilometer away. So I'm going to yaw the drone left 90 degrees. I'm going to tilt the camera up. And we're just going to go straight forward for about 0.5 kilometer and see how our range does. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm holding full forward on the stick right now. And so this is what full speed in stock mode looks like. You can see in the bottom left, the drone is pointing back at us in case we need to return to home. And if you look to your right, there's a solar farm over there near the school. And we're over 600 feet from base. So we're getting close to that first kilometer. Lost some connection there, so I'm going to go up higher to 350. And again, like I said, I'm very impressed with the altitude hold and the connection overall. I'm going to go ahead and turn around, come back towards me. Let's point it at us, and I'll come towards myself. Again, it's very important on days like this when you're testing that you go and do it over an open field away from people, because you never want to do this near people when it could crash. So we're coming back towards ourselves. You can see the arrow getting closer back to our home on the bottom left. There are people next to me, so just keep that in mind. So we're almost overhead now. And I have the drone in sight. I'm going to go ahead and stop moving. Point down at me again. So overall, I'm very impressed with the initial test. We're going to do some more video checks to see how the camera does in various conditions. And I'll let you know how that goes. Now we're going to switch into some smart modes. I don't really know I'm going to track yet, but let's try my car first. So on the left side, go into that menu. We got point of interest, which I want to try out. I'm going to click enter, and I'm going to just set a radius a little wider than that, and let's try it out. So my drone's going to do this orbit on its own. We're going to see how well it goes, and it's going to try to keep me in the picture as best it can. I'm going to actually walk towards the center of this point of interest. I think I grabbed the center of this parking lot. So there I am. You're good. So this would be great if you don't have the option to constantly control the aircraft. You can just tell it where to look at and go about your business and leave it in this mode until you're done. And overall, that looks pretty good. I'm not recording right now, so I'm going to go ahead and click record. See how this does. I'm going to try to switch the direction and see how that does. So I don't think I can do that from this screen, but it still works really well. So I'm going to go ahead and stop recording. I'm going to go ahead and pause it. And then I'm going to exit out of that window. I'm going to try to do another shot. I'm going to do visual following. So I have to select the target, watch the selected target, and move parallel. Those are the three options. So I'm going to say follow. In following mode, drone will follow and record. Okay, enter. Going to hit on, well, that's not going to work. Let's move it closer to me. I'm going to come down a little bit. All right. I want you to follow me. All right. Let's see if we can tap this target on the screen. The target will be confirmed with the green frame. All right. Still can't see me, so I need to get a little closer. Can you see me yet? Let's see here. Tap. There we go. All right, let's see how this works. So I'm still in the frame, so I'm going to try to move out of frame and see what it does. So I'm still in the frame. I'm gonna walk out of frame, and it doesn't follow me. Let's try to move the sticks and see what happens. So moving the sticks, it did not follow me. So I'm gonna assume that this mode is still in testing and doesn't quite work on this build. But that's okay. We're gonna try another smart feature. How about this? Watch me. What happens when I do that? There we go. This might be worth it. So now it's gonna watch me. Is it gonna turn? Yes, so watch me works. Follow me doesn't work quite as well yet. But I'm gonna go ahead and speed up, see if we can keep up with turning. Oh, this is great. I love this. So I'm not touching the controls at all, and it's just following me around in orbit. So if I stop, camera will stop. If I change direction, oh, this is great. This is awesome. So it tracks people, probably track cars as well. And this would be great for filming when you're on the go. So we're gonna stop that shot. I'm gonna try to do parallel follow and see if it moves parallel. Yes. So it also moves parallel to me. So my guess is that the original follow me is only for if you're going in a straight line. But these two modes that I just tested out work really well. So I'm very, very happy with that. Let's see if we can get the follow me to work. Nah, I think that one's still in beta because it's got its own prompts. So I'm gonna pause that. I'm gonna end that. And we're gonna try another mode. We're at 41% on the battery, so we're gonna make this last one short. Let's try cinema. What is this? Cinema mode will automatically optimize flight control, spelled incorrectly, feeling of the drone, making it smooth during process, steering, blah, blah, blah. All right, so let's see what happens with this. Do I have to set waypoints? The flight distance of the drone brake will become longer. I don't want to test it right now if it's windy. That might not work correctly. So we're gonna exit out of that. Let's see, is there anything else on the screen? There's journey, there's smart shots, and there's waypoints. Let's see, not visual following, sorry. Let's see, journey, what's journey? An aerial shot where the drone will fly upward and outward for a cinematic aerial shot. I know what this is, so we can try this out. Let's start recording and increase that speed to 12 and start. So this will just back the drone up in a nice smooth angle. So there's me. I'm gonna go ahead and pause that. I'm gonna end that. And we're gonna try out another mode. Smart shots. Up and forward flight with the camera slowly. Okay, I know what that means. All right, let's try this. Let's see, I think I know what this is gonna do. I think the camera's gonna pan up looking at me while moving over. I wanna stop that. Move up, move up, move up, move up. Okay, that was close. I don't like that. I was over trees, so that mode is not very good at detecting trees. So we're gonna exit out of that. And we can try waypoint. Okay, I understand this. So this means I have to set it in the GPS map where to go. So we'll try that. Hello, dog. I'm gonna put a point there. Tap, 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 tap. See what happens. I'm gonna increase altitude above the trees just in case this one doesn't work correctly. And gonna start it, see what happens. I'm gonna stop it because it's descending and exit out of that. That mode should have the option to change the flight altitude when you set the waypoint, so I don't trust that yet. So this was my oversight in the software. There is actually a window for changing the altitude at the waypoint, so just know that this was my mistake. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this flight up. I think it was pretty successful. First test. I've done low light conditions, and this thing can handle daylight or night time very well. So I'm gonna try out the last feature today, which is return to home. I'm gonna bring it over top of me, and I'm gonna press the return to home. See what happens. I clicked it once, nothing happened. Let's turn on record and see if this does anything. So I hit return to home. Still not doing anything. All right, it's gonna try to come back to the takeoff point. Let's see what happens. All right, so I think in this instance, it's already at home, so it's not gonna try to land. So now I'm gonna go ahead and move it towards me, tilt the camera down, and try to land the thing. So let's try the return to home function. All right. It's actually very accurate with its landing. Let's see. It's not near me or the car, so hopefully this goes well. It's coming in, coming in, coming in more. Tilt the camera up a little bit. And nice smooth landing. So there's your first look at all the functionality of the not the Mavic, the Mantis G. Let's see if I can look at myself. Oh, nice shot of my lower section. So that's the first test. Hopefully you enjoyed it. So now let's assume that you've landed your drone and you want to see your video. Click on the bottom right photo screen, and you can see there's drone internal and drone SD card options. I don't have my own SD card inserted, so it only shows the internal storage. And then there's local storage. You can save lower resolution video to your phone, or you can download the full resolution from the original internal memory. So I've already downloaded the first one. You'll see in the top right there's a down arrow with a green check, so that means it's downloaded. I'm going to show you how to download one of these clips. So click on it, bottom right. I'm actually going to rotate this so it's easier for you to see. Bottom right, there is the download button. You can click compressed if you want it fast, or the original video if you want full quality. So we're going to let this run for a while and see how long it takes. The buzzing you hear in the background is actually the fan running on the Mantis. If you hear that sound, that's what that is. Your Mantis needs to be powered on for this to work. So it's going pretty quickly, almost at 95, 96, 97, and it's downloaded. So I'm going to go ahead and download the rest of these clips from our test and let you know how that goes. So it's been a couple days. I looked at the footage. I've started to edit the footage. Very satisfied with the smart shots. I feel like if I had some more time to test, could have gotten even better video. I'm going to roll some clips that I got, and I'll just talk about the general features of my my look. So first off, really impressed with the gimbal and camera for how small they are, how effective they were during my test, even during low light conditions. Very usable and very low cost compared to the alternatives. Also, flight time, even during a windy day, we were almost at 20 minutes of flying with still about 30% battery remaining. I think this is amazing flight time from my point of view. I do racing drones, and this thing is very, very efficient when it comes to using the battery. I'm also very impressed with how easy the app is to use. You could see from my point of view, the interface I was working with on my phone, not a problem at all. The buttons, even though they're not tactile like a button on the controller, they still work very well. I still use potentiometers for scrolling the camera up and down, and that works well. But like I said, overall, I'm very happy. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section down below. And I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.